I love the score of this episode. The pseudo John Williams was so hilarious and awesome. But here on my channel, we can get the real stuff. Hit it! Okay, before we get started, let's take a long moment to talk about the elephant in the room. What did I think about Daring Do being real? I expected it. Honestly.
It's the honest ones you want to watch out for.
The way I watch MLP is when the episodes seem to be going down a certain track, I think, how another kid's show would do this, or rather, how other kids' shows already have done this. And usually MLP will give me a surprise turn I didn't expect, like the plot deviation in Equestria games. In that case, when I said, I've seen that 100 times, I'd probably have a problem naming just one. But I know I've seen it, it's just that where I saw it is subconscious. In this episode's case, for some reason, I had a very clear idea as to how I expected the episode to go, because I had a very clear meet the author parallel from my childhood. It's a rather odd reference, so bear with me. It's an episode called Illustrations of Love, Are Usagi and Mamoru Getting Closer? Or An Artful Attack, in English, from Sailor Moon. I won't summarize the whole episode, y'all can find it if you're interested, but basically I knew that Daring Do was an author insertion. However, I thought it was an idealized version of the author, and the reason it was put on hold was because the author was becoming self-conscious and worried that she was not living up to her expectations. Enter friendship to fix everything. When AK Yearling, nice reference by the way, was revealed to be Daring Do, my reaction was somewhere between, that works too, and seems legit. One thing I did have trouble wrapping my head around though, how is Zodal is real? I'm sorry, what? I thought it was heavily based on her life, not her life drawn out. I assumed this pony version of Belloc was the inspiration for how Zodal. I mean, what is this guy? I mean, I know what he is in the world of mythology, but what is he in the world of MLP? He's sentient. Are there more of him? Is there a society, or are we dealing with the last, as with Discord? Nothing was explained as to why this guy exists in the manner that he does. But whatever, no big deal really. Another thing people bring up is, how can he control the sun? It's Celestia's job. He's not. It's going to be hotter. No one said anything about manipulating the sun. I assume it would work by preventing clouds from being moved into the area or thinning the atmosphere so the sun's rays are stronger. So if Celestia pulled back the intensity of the sun, if she even can do that, then the rest of the world would become colder. Now, could Celestia have unleashed a can of whoop-flank to stop this plot? Absolutely. Did she need to? Nope. Daring Do was handling it just fine, and Celestia has better things to attend to. Besides, you can't expect Gordon Ramsay to go to every restaurant to make it better just because he can. Let a few fight their own for a while, or else you're taking away their calling. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Despite that's what I've been talking about for several minutes. No, we're here to talk about the not-so-subtle subtext of this episode. Dear bronies, calm the f*** down! Love and kisses the DHX staff. I caught it immediately that at the very beginning of the episode, we had a fan excited for material coming out in 4 months. Oh no, 6 months? Whatever will she do with her life? Yeah, remember the break between seasons 3 and 4 and everyone was like, when's the new episode? It's coming out in the fall. Oh good, I can wait until September. Yeah, or, November. What?! This was referred to as the drought, and has been applied to this break too. But this time around there's less aggression, even though we know it's going to be at least 2 months more, if not longer. But I'm not complaining. You fandom newbies didn't have to live through the 3-year summer. Never forget. Anyway, for those of you who are part of other fandoms, or just in this one, I'm sure you've said things like,
the new book is obviously delayed because she needs help dealing with whatever everyday nonsense is distracting her from spending her every living, breathing second writing.
This episode was a mirror at our own ridiculousness, and it was glorious. Especially this exchange. I remember when Digi, was it Digi? I think it was Digi, said something to the effect of, this is clearly a reference to the brony analysis community. Noob. This is how all fandoms talk. Given the context of the conversation, it reminded me most of the conversations I've had at length with Potterheads before the 7th book came out. Well, obviously Wormtail's going to save Harry's life. She's been setting that up since book 3. True, but in book 4, Wormtail brought He Who Must Not Be Named back to life knowing he would kill Harry and didn't do anything about it. But He Who Must Not Be Named couldn't kill Harry because of Priori and Catatum. The two brother wands couldn't attack each other because they share the same core. But are you forgetting that only a great wizard like Dumbledore would have known that? Only if you assume that the information was somehow kept secret. Maybe Wormtail's just very well read in wand lore. Did you ever think of that?
You gotta admit, Rainbow Dash makes a pretty good point.
I think this episode was a great love letter to fandoms everywhere. The references to Harry Potter and Indiana Jones were beautiful. All my fandom buttons were hit, and I'm not about to let one tiny detail ruin that. Sometimes we put things so high up on a pedestal that not only can we never reach it ourselves, but even the media itself can't reach it. Sometimes we have to step back and laugh at ourselves. What did you think? Leave a comment, and I will see you later. Brony on, my friends.